Ba-da-dum-bum. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Film Trooper Presents Film Marketing Fridays. I am your host, Scott McMahon. I'm a fellow film trooper. And for those of you who are new to Film Trooper is here to help filmmakers become entrepreneurs, more specifically, the uber independent filmmaker. And what I try to do here on these live Google Hangouts is break down the last barrier for filmmakers. Because the idea is essentially that film production is no longer a barrier because anyone can make a film for almost nothing. And in fact, this film behind me, The Cube, was my feature film that I made for $500 without a crew. So it's possible. So that barrier is broken down. And now distribution, being able to get your film out to a worldwide audience is no longer a barrier because you have services like VHX TV. You can pay an aggregator, get it up onto iTunes, Amazon, Netflix. I utilized Vimeo on demand. So distribution is no longer a barrier, which means the last barrier for filmmakers, especially the uber independent filmmaker, or basically any filmmaker, is marketing, being able to make sure that people know about your work. And so that's what we try to discuss here. I actually was supposed to have a guest filmmaker join me today, all the way out in Central European summertime, CEST, Andre Wallstrom. And he and his filmmaking team have created a web series about a person going through becoming a transgender person in Uganda. And it has the grassroots method of marketing. This particular web series TV show has garnered interest from the Huffington Post and CNN. So he emailed me this morning saying that one of the documentary subjects they were working on was just arrested, and they have to race to Sweden to record the footage. So how exciting is that to be, a documentary filmmaker where when the story's happening, like a journalist, you just got to go. And it's sounds very exciting, and looking forward to having Andre on the show in the next couple of weeks so we can hear more about the project. And let me real quick just show you that landing page, and I'll make sure to let him discuss it more when he's on, but just so people know what the heck I'm talking about. If you can see this screen here. Yeah. So the project that he was going to talk about was the Pearl of Africa. And it'd be really fascinating to see what kind of marketing efforts they've done on a grassroots bootstrapping level to get can I speak this morning? To get noticed by CNN and Huffington Post and so on. So that's going to be exciting to have an opportunity to meet Andre one of these days when he gets back, and hopefully everything's safe on his travels. Okay, so that's back to my mug. This is going to be a short session, but if anybody's out there, by all means, go ahead and throw up a question in the Q&A app. You'll see if you had any marketing questions, just shoot them my way. So let me get to the presentation of today's topic, which is, filmmakers, don't be afraid of marketing. And then we'll discuss why people are usually afraid of marketing, or especially filmmakers or artists of any type feel less inclined to promote themselves. So let's go back to the presentation, the slideshow. Everybody can see that. Film Marketing Fridays. And yes, there we go. So the big question is, the topic of how not to be afraid of marketing. Well, let's first start off like asking ourselves these questions of why do people even hate marketing? Probably the number one thing is most people have had a sleazy experience, or there's this like intuitive sense that a lot of marketing they see or that is pushed onto them is very sleazy. Liars, marketers are liars. When you know like a product, it's just bogus, that's just full of crap, and then you have somebody marketing it as if it's something great. Yeah, liars. That's why people hate marketing. Lacking empathy, where they can tell the marketer or the marketing message, it's just BS. That's pretty much what it is. Like there's no connection to the empathy of the actual customer or audience at the end game there. So there's also lacking authenticity. So that is one thing to think about in terms of why people hate marketing. And then time wasted. It's just that's why the DVR was created. They just want to get to their shows. You know, they don't want to see commercials. They don't want to be interrupted in the process and the time invested into watching a television show or whatnot. Can you imagine if you're at a music concert and like every 2 minutes the band had to stop so that like a Pepsi or Coke came out to do an advertisement about their beverage? You know, it's that interruption. So it's also time wasted. So why do people love marketing? Okay, so if we know why people hate marketing, well, why do people actually love marketing? Well, one thing you could try to do, what marketers try to do, or those who are people who love marketing, is that if they have the right message, but it goes to the wrong audience, that actually creates the interruption, right? So, again, if you're using television as an example, you're watching something and all of a sudden you're interrupted. The flow is interrupted. So, and you might be watching something like Walking Dead, and they're like all of a sudden has an ad for baby diapers, or I don't know. The whole point is like the message might be presented to the wrong audience, and that creates sort of an interruption experience. Now you might have the wrong message, but to the right audience, and that equals disenchantment. So where, again, if you're, watching something like Walking Dead and you have a message about, I don't know, hunting or survival gear or something like that, but the way it's presented, maybe the artwork or the cheesiness, it just comes off disenchanting. So you have to have the right message to the right audience so you can have the transformation. And then the transformation equals sort of like a sense of belonging, because you want the audience or the customers to have this feeling that they belong, or they want to belong to whatever marketing message that you're selling. And so the transformation also has to be sort of a authentic connection, because again, why do people hate marketing? Because they feel like it's sleazy, they're being lied to, it's disenchanting, it's inauthentic. So all those things are opposite of why people would love marketing. And transformation equals inspiration. So all those types of things need to kind of line up, and which is why sometimes the big marketing efforts for film, where they're just pushing out a marketing message to a wide net of audience, where people will be like, they see a trailer for a movie that that is like the message you're sending out, but it's hitting the complete wrong audience. They're going to come away going, that thing's like so stupid, I'm not going to watch it. But if that same message or same trailer is presented to the right audience that understands or totally gets what's being sold, they're going to be transformed, and they're going to have this sense of belonging, and they want that authentic connection, and they're going to be inspired to be like, yeah, I got to go see that movie. So that's why people would love marketing and not be afraid of it. So we can ask ourselves, well, what is marketing? And I tend to use a definition of communicating to get a result. So again, what is marketing? It is communicating to get a result. And communication is being spot on about what the message is. And your message is understanding what your film's about, or the marketing message of your film about, and then sharing that message to the right audience. So you have to have the right message connecting with the right audience to get that transformation. So the cool thing is marketing can become fun, and for filmmakers, they should look for it to be fun. So how do we know when it becomes fun? One, you got to believe in your message, right? So obviously, whatever the marketing theme is, and a lot of times the marketing theme should be tied to your film's theme. So if your film's theme is about, self-empowerment or something like that, then the marketing messages should all be about self-empowerment. So you have to have belief in your message. You have to have conviction in your message. You have to have excitement to share the message, because all this stuff adds up to authenticity. And you want to connect with real people through the message. That's the thing that when it becomes fun. And probably the biggest thing is like when marketing doesn't even feel like marketing. It just feels like you are excited to share a message, that it's a message that you believe in. It's a, and that's why sometimes documentaries might have a better time or easier time narrowing down on what their message is, because most documentaries sometimes have like a cause or a message of social change or things like that. When you get into the world of like your genres of like horror or comedy and stuff like that, is a little harder. You got to like dig deeper to ask yourselves what the theme of the movie is, and does that theme tie to a marketing message that you will stand behind and believe in and are excited to share that particular marketing message to real people. And that's when it doesn't feel like marketing, because you're excited to share this conversation to somebody at a party. Okay, so the number one obstacle to marketing is you. Usually people just have a hang up. There's marketing and sales. That's why you can see like somebody who's sometimes really good at sales. Honestly, they just kind of believe they're BS. Like they're comfortable, being a bullshitter. But you have to get to that place where you believe in your message that's authentic, and you just have to get over yourself and believe in yourself and get that obstacle out of the way so you can move forward. And really the big thing is not to push your message. So that's when we say pushing, is that, that's the sort of the way that Hollywood studios have to work. They use the blanket shotgun approach to some extent to make sure that their trailers, the movie trailers or their marketing materials are out there and enough lead time leading up to the opening box office weekend. And so what we try to do is, pull the message from the right audience. Again, creating the right message to match up with the right audience equals transformation. So you don't want, that's the idea. And the only way to get there is not to push your message, but maybe to extract the message. So knowing who your audience is, who the right audience is, and then seeing if the theme of your movie is in alignment and how best to craft your marketing message to hit that right audience. Yeah, you want to invite your audience to share in your message. And that sort of comes from Seth Godin and his book, Permission Marketing. In today's online marketing world, especially for the uber independent filmmaker, we're going to have to approach the world of marketing as a permission-based marketing or content-based marketing, where you're inviting the audience to share in the message and let it grow from there. Okay, so one thing you can do is maybe not even call it marketing. Again, we're just talking here, right? So you're at a party, and if the thing about Facebook was described is that they wanted to make it the ultimate party, which is why it started in college, like having the most insane experience. And they didn't call it marketing; they called it they're just talking here. And so that's one thing you do, so you can get over the hump of like feeling like it's not marketing. So we'll just call it talking. We're just talking, but it's authentic communication. You have to believe, you have to have conviction in what you made and what the film's theme is about, to believe in the message and the marketing message behind it. That is the reason why people don't like marketing, is again because they feel like it's sleazy and people are lying to them. It's because a marketer sometimes is hired by a company, and that marketer may not even believe in the product they're selling. They know that it's not very good, and it probably will break apart, or it doesn't really serve the audience any value whatsoever, but their job is to market it anyway. So there already comes from a place of no conviction and not believing in the project or the product or whatever it might be. So you have enough of those companies hiring enough of these marketing people to run these messages. And you know what? There's like this sixth sense, or this sense that humans could get, that they go, you know what? This feels inauthentic. It feels warm, like slimy and sleazy. And that's sort of what's kind of ruined the marketing world, over the years. And that's why it's refreshing when you meet somebody who's really authentically stands behind the message, because no matter what, they're so passionate about it. They just want to share that communication. And that's what resonates and connects with an audience much deeper. And which is why we don't think about it as marketing, because we think like somebody is championing the message that's already in my brain as an audience or a customer. So being authentic eliminates being sleazy. We can say that again. And being authentic promotes empathy. So again, if people hate marketing because there's no empathy behind it, it's because then the authenticity will promote that empathy. And then being authentic provides value, and time is not wasted. Because if somebody is authentic and believes in the message and is convicted, they will provide great value, and the audience receiving that value will not feel like, again, their time is wasted. All right, so with that said, we can wrap up this extremely quick Film Marketing Friday session, because again, I was hoping to have Andre Wallstrom on, but lucky him, there's a break in the story that he's following or that he's documenting, that he had to race to Sweden to get the footage. So hope all is safe with him, and all is safe with him and his crew. But as you can see, those who are seeing this visually, I have on the screen here, if you're stuck trying to make your film, this is my way of paying the bills on Film Marketing Fridays, then I encourage you to get inspired, because you can go to freegearguide.com and get yourself a free equipment list of everything I use to make my feature film for $500 with no crew. And it's just to help you, get over that hump if you're stuck, to say, you know what, do I need to go big, or can I go smaller, just so that I can get that creative angst out to just make something and then move forward. So again, go to freegearguide.com, and that's a little free gift for you, and you can find out more about what we're doing at Film Trooper. Before I sign off, I just want to say thanks for everybody who's stuck around for like this 15-20 minutes or something like that. Yeah, hit me up at Film Trooper. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you want to join me at one of these Film Marketing Fridays. I would love to hear what your film project you're working on. At the same time, you can just ask, it's an opportunity to ask like your film marketing questions. And a lot of the guests that come on, I have a tendency to ask like, okay, let's imagine you have 1 hour with a Hollywood marketing executive at a studio. What would you ask this person? So if you have those types of questions, then find me over at filmtrooper.com, and below on the bottom, you can click the contact page and send me your information, or send me your thoughts. Or you can just follow me at Film Trooper at Twitter, and hit me up, hit me up there. And that's it. It's Friday. There's stuff going on. I don't know if you heard my dog barking in the background. I probably have to go take a look at what happened there. Maybe she killed a small child. I don't know. But thank you so much. I will catch you next time. Bye.